It's just been over a week since the 1.08 update dropped, and although we didn't receive any game-breaking buffs and nerfs, a few characters did receive quite a few significant changes, and one of these characters just happens to be Lars. He received a huge change to his 111. So 111 is his 10-frame counter-hit confirmable string that takes him into hit as well. So going into Tekken 8, this move was actually buffed because it went from -14 to -12, and it still remains at -12. However, it did receive a nerf going into Tekken 8. It did not wall splat anymore, or it did not knock down anymore. So this is a change that has been reverted in this update. Now overall it still remains as a buff, because remember it was -14 in Tekken 7 even with the knockdown, but now it knocks down and it remains at -12. So this is a massive buff to our boy Lars. So let's talk about 111 in its glory. Now the first thing that makes it strong is at the wall, Lars' pressure game just got better. Lars has quite a number of moves that put him at +1 and 0. For example, DE4 puts him at +1, 1-4 puts him at +1 as well. You have down 2, which puts you at 0. However, it leaves your opponent crouching, so if they get up with the wall standing 4, if you go for 111, that is a very good frame trap. You have SE 3+4 as well, basically the same as down 2. So it does have these really good frame traps to use at the wall, and that makes his wall game very, very scary. Before, he would throw out 1-on-1, yes, he would get the move on counter hit, but it would just like flip them over, then you would just have like hit pressure at the wall. But now you can actually get a wall splat into full combo into amazing Oki. So this is very good for our boy. Back to default settings, should have always been this way. Now mid screen, it's still good, it's still 1-1-1. But one thing I don't like about 111 or 10-frame counter hit tools in this game, the fact that they're hit engagers, right? You can't really utilize the Oki that much or that well sometimes, because at the end of the day, it's a hit engager. Unless you've used up your hit or you are in hit, right? And you throw out 1-on-1, in those cases, you can utilize the Okizeme that the move actually gives you. So what I mean by this is 1-on-1 on counter hit actually sets up Lars' Oki very, very well, because Lars does love this 1.2, this 2 range. So let's say you get 1-1-1 on counter hit and you get a knockdown. Let's say you've already used up your hit, right? You get a knockdown. You have some really good options for Okizeme after this. So of course the 101 is DE2 that hits grounded. So counter hit 1-on-1 into DE2. They can take roll left if they time it correctly, but if you delay the DE2, you can actually flip them off of the ground. A very good setup for this is if they actually get up with an instant or standing get up. Like, you know how people love getting off the ground? Like if they have the face on the ground, they'll have to get up like an instant or standing 4. This is a perfect setup for that particular get up kick, because if they do that, they will get countered by DE2. And DE2 is actually very safe as well as an Okizeme option. Even if they get up with back, they can't actually punish you. So what I love doing with Lars a lot is 1-on-1 counter hit, right? Get the knockdown, then go for DE2, then throw out an arc blast, because I know they'll think, oh shit, he's whiffed. Let me try to get that whiff punish, right? They end up running into this arc blast, and now they gotta hold this arc blast. That's a very good setup. I've always used this in Tekken 7, so I'm kind of happy it's back in T8. It took a while, but man, it's a massive W. And like these situations are going to be rare again, like I said, because it takes you into hit. That's a bad part about this. What I really wish about hit engages in Tekken 8 is if we could hold back after doing particular moves that are hit engagers and not go into hit. Like, we should not be forced to go into hit on using certain moves. It actually sucks if you think about it. For example, like we can use hit dash from these particular moves. We are not forced to use a hit dash. Like, imagine if we were forced to use hit dash from doing these moves, right? So it would make sense if we could decide to not use the hit engager by holding back when you throw out these moves. Okay, so now that the opponent knows that you have this DE2 as a very good option for off the ground, you can actually implement your SE mix-ups after 1-1-1 counter hit knockdown. So let's say counter hit 1-on-1, you go for DE, then cancel into SE and go for your SE 50-50 between the low and the mids, of course. Now this is in the case that the opponent will respect you after getting off the ground, because they are considering or they are afraid of that DE2, of course, that hits grounded and will catch those counter hit get up. So that's the mix-up idea behind, you know, counter hit 1-1-1 Okizeme options. You also have cancelling SE into LE. Of course, this is basic Lars 101. If you have hit, it's a very good idea to go for the setup after 1-1-1 on counter hit. Of course, get a knockdown, then go DE into SE, then cancel from SE into LE for the 50-50 mix-up between the low and the mid. That's basically it with one-on-one, right? Now again, guys, like, it just sucks, right? You don't always have this option, because if you are not in hit and you get the counter hit one-on-one, you basically go for the hitting. You go into hit like through a hit engager, and you won't actually get to use your Okizeme options, because now the opponent just flips over, and they have to get the pressure off of the hit engager, of course, plus 17. It's not bad, don't get me wrong, it's not bad, but I don't know which one is better. Like, would you guys take the knockdown, or would you guys, or are you guys okay with the plus 17 hit engager? Like, let me know, because I feel as though the knockdown is really good, especially considering the fact that it sets up Lars' Oki very well, right? The range is perfect for like DE into SE, it's perfect for SE cancels into LE. So I would have been down if they gave us a knockdown instead of the hit engager. Like, Namco, please let us just hold back and not go into hit. Give us the option to decide not to go into hit. That's basically Lars' one-on-one, guys. I don't want to make this video too long because there's not really that much to talk about. Honestly, just Tekken 7 one-on-one. Everything that worked in Tekken 7 is the same as it is right now, except it's safer at -12, and it is a counter hit engager. So does this change Lars' position on the tier list? Does this make him a better character overall? Like, do we place him higher after this particular buff? Honestly, I don't think so. Lars still remains the same. People say he's mid, people say he's below mid, others even consider him as a low tier character, one of the worst in the game. You guys know how I feel about Lars. I feel as though he is underrated. I feel he is okay. He is in a very good place, not great, right? Not bad, he is just okay. Like, Lars is a character that everyone should be in this game in terms of balancing. Lars is still playing Tekken. He's basically still playing Tekken 7. He has his strengths, he has his weaknesses, and that's how every character should be. Very linear character, but he does have good homing moves. He has back 1, he has back 1+2. So you have to decide when to use those moves. You have to make the reads. The opponent moving around a lot, back 1, back 1+2, right? He has very risky lows in neutral. He's safer in stance, so you have to find the balance between using Lars in stances and neutral as well. So you have to worry about that. Very good mids and very risky lows. That's his archetype, right? Risky character, but hella rewarding lows if you do land them. That's how every character should be in the game. Not every character needs to be a Dragonov and has to be carried by everything. Not every character needs a Jin down 2 and the 2-1-4 and the forward 2, forward 4. It's not supposed to be that way. So I think, and I keep on saying that, we've talked about this so many times. I think when most of the top tier characters get nerfed, right? The Yoshis, the Fangs, the Kings, the Jins, the Ninas, when the nerfs start, these characters below the tier list will just get better over time or in due time, right? Lars, he'll get better, right? If characters like Nina are nerfed, Lars just gets better. Characters like Leroy, we're not seeing, hella underrated. When the top tiers get nerfed, these characters will start shining, guys. It's just a matter of time. We are expecting a huge balance update, hopefully at least by next month. I don't think Namco will wait until after the TWT finals in December to drop a balance patch. I think dropping an update just before the major tournament happens would be a good way to get the next season going, because I'm sure we'll get the character review and then hope for the next season starts like next year, what, April, February, March maybe? So I think that's how these things would go. But what do you guys feel about Lars? I know, like, most of you guys, my Lars mains, I know a bunch of you are subscribed because of my guides. So I know I have a bunch of you Lars mains. Please talk to me. How do you feel about the character? Let's just be honest. Let me not see a lot of downplay, right? Let's just be honest, like, how strong do you think your character is? How are you performing with your character in ranked? Currently, I made Tekken Gold with Lars. As you guys know, I have been Tekken Gold for a while now. I have been finding difficulties finding matches in my region. I don't know what it is. I don't know if people have just stopped playing after reaching, you know, high ranks like Tekken Gold or God of Destruction. I did make GOD with Raven, and so I thought to myself, okay, instead of playing matches with Raven, let me try to push up my other mains, right? And Lars happens to be one of those, but I have been stuck. I just can't seem to find matches, bro. I don't know what's going on. But I did find some matches with Steve in Tekken Emperor. I actually made Tekken Gold with him today, massive W. So I'll see you guys when I try to get some matches going. I haven't played some Lars in a while, man. I haven't uploaded some gameplay in a while as well. Expect some Lars matches as soon as I'm able to find games online. So that's that, boys. What do you think about Lars in this game right now? What's the state of our boy? Do you think he needs massive buffs? And yeah, talk to me, Lars main. So if you enjoyed my video, please check out my other content. I do cover Lars. I am a Lars main. I did a guide on him as well, so subscribe, like, do the YouTube jazz, and take care, my boys. GG.